Welcome to Unity of Charlotte on this extraordinary Easter morning. On my drive here, I will tell you I was filled with joy. I was filled with excitement about the potential within the world, the potential within Unity of Charlotte, and the potential within me. What an exciting drive. And then I come to a place that I hold close to my heart, and it gives me warm feelings, loving feelings, and excitement to be with each and every one of you this morning. So let's give each other and all of us a warm welcome. And now, with excitement, and knowing your own potential within you, join in our prayer of oneness. There is one presence and one power in my life and the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. So you are truly welcome here at Unity of Charlotte, where our mission is to nurture a deep and mature experience of God through the practice of unity principles. And isn't this why you're here? Yes, yes. So I'm Reverend Pat Dre. I'm the platform assistant. It is my joy to serve in this role. And I'm so glad you're here with us, both in person, but also to all of those of you who are with us on Zoom. We are delighted to have you with us, and we are delighted with the advances in technology that allow us to be connected in all of these ways. It is Easter morning. It is a morning when we celebrate the risen Christ consciousness in all realities and in its metaphorical meaning. So take a deep breath and relax in place and know that all is well. All is well with you. And take in this message from the Daily Word. Easter. Through Christ, I rise again. On this glorious Easter Sunday, the sun rises on a new day. I am glorious too, called to life and shining with joy because Christ is risen in me. Just as the stone was rolled away to reveal an empty tomb where Jesus' crucified body had been, I roll away the stones of all that has kept me entombed and leave my crucifixion experiences behind. Easter is the celebration of Jesus' overcoming death. It is also an invitation to celebrate my victory over all I have survived. It is a celebration of the triumph of truth, the resurrection of the Christ within. The trials of the world are always temporary. Today, I roll away the stone of limitation, and I am resurrected to the truth of God. With joy, I rise again. This is the Daily Word. And this is a precious gift from Unity, where we honor its copyright and its trademarks, and we share it with you, acknowledging the gift that it is. I like to think about unity principles and what they mean to us. And I'm reminded of an Easter a number of years ago where I was driving to church, and I was on a fairly heavily driven road. But what had been lined up was traffic in both directions, which is unusual for this time in the morning. And here were all of these cars lined up, not in aggravation, but there were smiles on people's faces. They were smiling in both directions, not at all irritated about the traffic. So what could this be about? And I'm thinking something unusual is happening. And across 4 lanes of traffic, all stopped, was a mother duck with 3 ducks behind. Waddle, 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 in great confidence, right behind mama, going across the road, unaware of anything else except going in the right direction to which they were being led. And everybody in the lines going in both directions stopped, were in joy. And so it is a principle of unity, to know where you're going, to go with confidence and not to worry about other people's issues. And now for our choir this morning, Christ the Lord is risen.
We're surprising you by joining you with the whole choir.
Come on up. Come on up.
You were in the front. Come on, step up a little bit. That's right. Okay. We'll be singing Christ the Lord is risen today, and the words should appear magically for you to read and sing. Please join us. Christ the Lord is risen today. Hallelujah. Sons of men and angels say, hallelujah. Raise your loy and triumphs high. Hallelujah. Sing ye heavens and earth reply. Hallelujah. No more thought of dark and gloom. Hallelujah. No more thought of death and tomb. Hallelujah. To the heavens and the lights. Hallelujah. Let our souls ascend the heights. Hallelujah. Sing that last verse together. By thy dazzling radiant ray. Hallelujah. Shine, illuminate our days. Hallelujah. Constant be the truth at dawn. Hallelujah. Now arise, ascend, shine on. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you. We done good.
Beautifully done. And we thank you, choir and choir director Lawrence Tolliver, also president of our board. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, We are delighted to also have you with us, and we encourage you to subscribe to our talks and like Unity of Charlotte, the YouTube channel, and that finds others help find us. We know that our Zoom and YouTube are very important and essential parts of our church experience and our sharing of the unity message. We are restarting our program for the children and teens, and we are ready to go. And we've had some children joining us periodically, and we look to growing that attendance, because our children's program, which is a vibrant program, is ready to resume. Yes, 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 exactly. And our announcements. You know, there are so many wonderful opportunities here at Unity of Charlotte. And I want you to pay special attention, because one or more of these may resonate with you, or your soul may be resonating with them and encouraging you to join. And so our Affirmative Prayer, which is a meditation group, meets on Tuesday evenings. It has an inspired message and tone that, for me, sets the pace for my week. Please consider it, because it is for the health and well-being of our planet, for all of life on that planet, and for all of humanity. Be there and join it. It is extraordinary. Tuesday evening, 7:15 on Zoom, and the links are at our website. The Path of Initiation, which is now creative thinking, is an extraordinary class led in a much different way than probably most of you have experienced it. It is a beautiful course based on the works of Lucille Cederkranz. And this is an action-oriented, participative, with lessons that you take into your life each week. And we have just begun the book, so you haven't missed anything. Check in with your soul about whether this is on your agenda. The Course in Miracles, the course that will change your life, meets Thursday mornings at 9:30 on Zoom. There is also another very special class that's starting on May 3rd, the Self-Awareness class with Reverend Robin Volker. It will be 6 weeks. It's via Zoom. It meets on Tuesday evening, 7:30 to 9, and that link will be placed on our website also. And it is in the newsletter. You have to register, and believe me, you all know Reverend Robin Volker, and if you've participated in any of her classes, you will never finish taking her classes, because they elevate everything about you. So those are our announcements. For those of you that are joining us on Zoom, there's something very important we are doing, and we are managing through updating our contact list. If you have not done this on Zoom already, do us the giant favor, and the giant favor for yourself, to put in all your contact information. And that would be your name, your address, your email address, and the best phone number for you. These are ways that we stay in touch with our congregation. It's never been more important than it is right now. So enter it into the chat. If you happen to be in our audience, you can drop your information off either to Alan or Maria, and we will make sure that we compare it to what we have on Breeze and make sure that your information is updated. Now, say with me the affirmation for both our new meeting space and also the minister that we are in the process of attracting right now. So, with energy, we affirm the presence of a new minister and a new spiritual home for the unity of Charlotte that fulfills every need for space and use in order to support and share our unified purpose to love, grow, and serve. And so it is. And now, somebody that you know very well is here with us in person this week. And she is truly a gift. We know she's a gift. I know she's a gift because I am moved forward on my spiritual path every time I participate, when her voice and her spirit comes on a Zoom call or shows up in person. Now to talk with us about parable, passion, and purpose, give a very, very warm welcome to Reverend Robin Volker. Try this side.
Thank you, Reverend Pat. I thought you were going to take my message there for a minute. We were going to be in big trouble. Good morning, Unity of Charlotte. And good morning to my friends on Zoom. It is wonderful to be here with you. And yes, I do exist for more than just a head. Oh, what beautiful people you are. I recognize some faces, and when you speak to me, I recognize some voices from some of you who've been in my classes. And thank you for the honor and the privilege of being here on Easter morning. I would love to tell you the story of Easter as told in the Book of God by Walter Wannigan Jr. Early on Sunday morning, the first day of the week, as soon as the Sabbath restrictions were lifted, 3 women left Bethany for Jerusalem: Mary Magdalene, Mary Salome, and Joanna. Midway around the northern rise of the Mount of Olives, Mary Magdalene stopped and looked at the others. Did you feel that? Did the earth tremble? She said. Each woman was carrying cloths and a jar in her arms, myrrh, frankincense, and nard. They meant to anoint the body of Jesus with their spices, their final honor to him whom they loved. It seemed the ground moved under my feet, Joanna said. It did move. Mary Salome said, but there was no sound. Neither was there light yet, but the stars were dimming in the eastern sky. Let's hurry. Let's hurry. They skirted Jerusalem on its northern side and turned south to the garden where Joseph's tomb had been newly hewn in the rock. And Mary Magdalene, peering forward, muttered, but who will roll away the stone? She looked, but she could not make out which tomb was Joseph's. Suddenly, Joanna shrieked and dropped her jar. And Mary Salome dropped hers as well, and it shattered. A pillar of light, bright as a blade, had shot down from the heavens, and the light seemed to stand in front of Joseph's tomb. Mary Magdalene grasped. She could smell the scent of the freshly spilled myrrh. And a voice said, "Do not be afraid." It seemed to Mary that this light contained the figure of a man. And it was glorious in every aspect, and it was so bright. The man said, "You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. Now run and tell the disciples that he goes before you to Galilee, and there you will see him as he said to you." The light then withdrew into the sky, leaving the women blinded and speechless, terrified. And that voice was no consolation. Mary Salome gathered up her robe and started to run back in the direction that they had come from. Mary Magdalene moved toward the tomb. "Mary, don't," proclaimed Joanna. "Mary, please don't go." Mary did not respond. The small, solemn, pale woman knelt directly down in front of the black hole of the tomb. This was more than Joanna could bear. "We can't tell anyone." And she ran after Mary Salome. Mary Magdalene bent forward and stretched her hand into the dark space. She felt cold air, dead air, but no body, no odor. On the right side of the darkness, she touched the flank of hewn stone, and with her fingertips, she measured upward 1 cubit and came to the surface that was the ledge upon which they had laid Jesus's body. She reached deeper into the darkness, timid, prepared to touch his rigid corpse, but found nothing. She felt nothing. Nothing was there. He was gone. He was gone. Without Easter, we would not know Jesus. Without the story of resurrection, Jesus' story would have ended with crucifixion, and he would most likely have been forgotten. Just another Jewish rebel crucified by the Roman Empire in a century that was so bloody and held so many executions. But instead of fading into oblivion, Jesus became the starring character in the development of a major world religion that has touched the lives of so many for over 2,000 years. We're still talking about it. So, what is the meaning of Easter? What is the meaning of this morning to you? Jesus taught in parables, didn't he? And we can agree this morning that the meaning of parables is not dependent upon whether they are historically true or not. Can we agree with that? We don't worry that it was a Samaritan who helped rescue the man who had been beaten on the side of the road. It doesn't matter, does it? And we don't worry whether or not there actually was a father who welcomed home his wayward son, because we all can feel the meaning of that story, right? The meaning of the stories and the parables that Jesus told were vivid and accurate, whether or not the events actually occurred that way or not. So the story I just told you of Easter is not dependent upon its factuality. The importance and the truth of that story that I just told you lies in its meaning and how it resonates with you. So let's break it down. It was the first day of the week. Let's start there. It was the first day of the week. When we come to the first of anything in Holy Scripture or in our lives, it means it's a plane of new expression. We're stepping up. It's new. It's a brand new week. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new life. It's a brand new commitment. It's a brand new. What do you want it to be? What is your first for today? The two Marys symbolize spiritual intuition and receptivity. In the Bible, all feminine references refer to spiritual intuition, particularly those named Mary, and there were a lot named Mary back in that day. It was a very common name. And most importantly, Mother Mary represent high levels of spiritual intuition. And Mary Salome represents spiritual wholeness. It was early in the day. Light was just breaking. And that represents high levels of consciousness. Now, I'm sorry for all of you nighttime people. Hate to break it to you. But according to metaphysics, high levels of spiritual consciousness come early in the day. What do you think the tomb represents? The tomb is the gateway to consciousness. What is in the tomb is the past. It's what we're letting go of. It's what we're dying to. And what is outside the tomb is a whole other level of spiritual consciousness. And that entranceway to the tomb is the gateway through which we step every time that we awaken into a higher idea, which hopefully is every day, right? Hopefully we're waking up every day, not just living the same day over and over again. We don't need Groundhog Day every day, right? We're awakening every day. Even on the road, on the path to higher consciousness, sometimes we get held back by error thinking. Does that ever happen to you? You listen to an inspiring message, you go to an inspiring class, you dive deeply into an inspiring meditation, and you've got yourself set on purpose, and you head out the door to real life. And then you wonder, who will roll away the stone? Oh, it sounded so good in class. It sounded so good. But how am I going to do it? How am I going to make it work? What will the outcome be? When we come to those moments, all we have to do is look up. There will be a light of inspiration if we trust that it is there. Trust it. That light of inspiration will come to you. God will not forsake you, will not abandon you, will not let you down. The stone will be rolled back. And when the stone is rolled back, then all of our dual thinking melts away. That dual thinking of right and wrong, of good and evil, of me versus you. And that means that all the separation falls away. And if separation falls away, what does that leave us with? Oneness. Oneness. I can feel your oneness of spirit. I can feel it when I talk with you on Zoom, but I can really feel it here in the room. That you have this collective intention to love, to grow, to serve. And the angel, so there appears an angel. We've probably all had some experience with angels. Sometimes they show up with skin on, don't they? Someone crosses our path at just the right moment and helps us out, and we never see them again. I remember one time I was going over Blood Mountain in North Georgia, and I got a flat tire on the mountain. You know, there's not much room, and I'm by myself, and I couldn't change my own tire on a good day. You know, I'd have to have some angel from somewhere help me. And I called Rick. I actually had a signal, which don't always have a signal on the mountain, but I was in a place where I had a signal, and I called Rick, and so I said, here I am, and this is kind of where I think I am, and oh, somebody's stopping. Well, you know, you feel happy about that and also a little scared, right? You know, do they want to help me fix my tire, or they want something else? But this was an angel with skin on, and he did. He helped me fix my tire and sent me on my way. Thank you, God. And then sometimes we do have experiences where something we can't define and describe shows up in our lives. And oftentimes it's not it depends upon what your communication is with the divine. You may see it, you may hear it, you may feel it. It may just be a deep knowing. Go this way, not that way. Stop here, wait, speak to that person. When angels come into our lives, it's a sign that we are spiritually developing. We have to be open and receptive to that divine help. And it can lead us to a place of new birth and transforming into our Christ potential. So here's some really good news. There is a resurrection waiting in each of us today. There is a resurrection awaiting inside of us because we are the Spirit of the Christ embodied in this form. So you look at me and you call me Robin, and here I am. I'm actually 5'2" and not just 12 inches. And I'm so many decades around the sun. But that's not the truth of who I am. That's just what you see with your perception. The truth is that there's the Christ Spirit that just has embodied in this way. And the same is true for you. The same is true for you. And the really exciting news about Easter is that death does not have to be the final word. Isn't that a great idea? Can you agree with me on that? Thank you. Thank you. Because we're all going to have to go there, aren't we? I don't know anyone who's gotten out of that trip. But we can celebrate that although we've taken these different body forms, and these body forms will not last forever, and we really don't want them to. You know, we really don't want them to. The essence of that Christ that is you will live long after these shells are gone. Death is not the end of life, but rather a graduation of sorts into the next evolution of our consciousness. On Friday, Jesus was crucified. I believe that really happened. I believe there was a man named Jesus. I believe he stirred things up, and I believe that he was crucified. On Sunday, the tomb was empty. Now, it doesn't really matter how that happened. It doesn't really matter. Because what mattered was it was so significant and it was so powerful that it changed the trajectory of religious movement on the planet ever since. And the story of the resurrection tells us, reminds us that resurrection always follows crucifixion. Resurrection always follows crucifixion. So when you are in your darkest moments, there's going to be a light coming in the morning. No matter what those dark moments might be. No life escapes crucifixions. We've all had them, and we'll probably have more of them. But every crucifixion holds the opportunity for resurrection. Beyond the appearance of every challenge, of every upset and every disaster, there is divine order unfolding in our lives. Jesus lived his life on purpose. He was constantly connected to the divine. And in order to live in that spiritual dimension, he had to always be prayed up. I can't stress this enough. We must be prayed up. He would steal away from the masses and go inward to the Father. There is nowhere in his recorded ministry that it says there was an emergency and Jesus went and prayed. No, he was ready. He was always ready. He was ready for this momentous weekend that he faced. He was ready. And his passion is deeply portrayed in the sayings from the cross. In the King James Version of the Bible, it quotes that Jesus said on the cross, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" However, in the Lamsa Bible translation from the original Aramaic, George Lamsa says that that statement translates into, "It is for this purpose that I was born." Big difference in the energy of those two statements, isn't it? It is for this purpose that I was born. So we move into this space of knowing and receiving that energy of purpose and being prayed up and ready. And I'm here to tell you that everything that has happened to you in your life has led you to this place. Sometimes we get really irritated with ourselves when we look at our life and it's like, oh, I think I missed the mark. But I want to give you encouragement that if you changed any one small decision that you made in your life path, we would not be here together this morning. We would not be here if we changed any one thing. The songwriter and musician Daniel Nahmod wrote a song called Get Ready. And in that song, he says, everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to this new beginning. Here, I am seeing life so clearly now. Isn't that what Easter's all about? It's about going forward with passion and trusting that every circumstance has a divine conclusion. It is about living on purpose and being prayed up. And it is about knowing that metaphysically, the Easter story is about you and me. It's about you and me remembering our divinity. Easter morning is an inaugural moment. It's an inaugural moment for all of us. And it's natural to be timid when we think on one hand, oh, if I claim my Christ, I can live full out. And on the other hand, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. Who will roll away the stone? How do I do that? Resurrection is joining with the one until we are inseparable. No distinctions, no separation, no barriers, no explanations, one with life, one with love, one with all. This is the joy of Easter. Jesus gave us the pattern, the template, if you will, to live from the truth of our being. One with life, one with love, one with all there is. Let's take a few minutes for reflection and meditation. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Find your breath, the breath of God that moves in and through you. Scripture tells us, be confident that God who has begun a good work in you will complete it. Just breathe that in. Be confident that God who began a good work in you will complete it. We celebrate the resurrection of the living Christ. And I invite you to know in this moment that you are a unique and special being. No one else can be you. You are perfect in God's eyes. You have been given unique God qualities. And those qualities are the good work that God initiated within you. Accept this morning that you are beloved of God. And dive into a deeper love and a sweeter life. This morning, the invitation is to leave all of your crucifixions in the tomb of the past. And to be known more for your resurrections, your overcomings, your rising up. And turn whatever is happening in your life over to that higher Christ spirit that lives within you, that loves you, that is you, that came fully equipped and fully ready to live in you, through you. Let us just be still and quiet, affirming the great work that God is doing in you. Quietly affirming, God is doing a great work in me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. And so it is. And so we allow it to be. In joy, in love, in all. Amen.
How fortunate we are. How fortunate we are that we listened to the soul's bidding when you got up this morning. When I got up this morning and you said yes. I know what will move me forward. I know the music that my soul sings to me. And we did show up. And I thank you, Reverend Robin, for reminding us that we came here, we arrived to participate, to experience a plane of new expression, that we are intuitive and receptive, that we showed up at the gateway to experience the consciousness of a whole new level of life, and to know that the stone has been moved and that we are part of the resurrection that has awaited us. We're here to say yes. And so I know your souls are saying, we are ready. Thank you. And now, what a special time it is for us to be a part of the offertory. I find that that message really opened up my heart and was also a message of the prosperity that's right here for us, right here. That stone has been moved. I have vivid pictures of this because I was at what they purport to be the stone, the place where Jesus was buried in Jerusalem. That stone is moved. Prosperity is right here for us. This law of circulation that works so well in our life if we just say and know the stone is already moved. And so join with me in saying our affirmation of the prosperity blessing. Joyously, I give this gift, knowing the divine presence blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And participate in the prosperity that's yours to know. And now for our choir. Are you coming up again?
Oh, yes.
Good. And now for our choir, This Love I Have. Welcome them and stand up and participate.
Thank you, Reverend Pat. Okay, we're being asked to kind of close in. We're good. Yes, sir. You can start it, Alan. And you may join us. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, this joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. Yeah, this love I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, this peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. Yes, this peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, this love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love I have. The world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Thank you.
Perfect song. Thank you. You know, I haven't sung in the choir in a long time. And you
joined
invited me. Yes, you invited me. And so we come to our close, and you can stay standing if you like, because we're moving pretty quickly here. And just to let you know how we finish up, we move our chairs to the side, those who are able, and those who want to skip Planet Fitness, you can lift them up on the stacks. And then we quietly move. It's not so difficult today because our Sikh community is not with us, I guess. So we're not in a rush, but we do meet in the prayer room in the back. You go out that door and then walk along the corridor, and we have a half-hour discussion about things in our lives and the message from service. So please join us. And we say our prayer of protection to remind us that our stone has been rolled away. There are no stones in our way. And so join with me in knowing your protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.